These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here. These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever.
With Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Feels like it's been months, doesn't it? Feels like, is my mic on? You need to come up? No? I don't hear me, but as long as you do, I don't need to hear me. Feels like it's been months since we've seen the Denver Nuggets, does it not? Do you remember the Denver Nuggets? Do you remember them?
I do.
I mean, I see Chauncey Billups right over here in the pale blue Denver Nuggets jersey. You kind of remember them, right? They get to play tonight. It's June 1st, boys and girls, and we will open the NBA Finals tonight. Nuggets at home. We've never said this before. Hosting the NBA Finals. What's up? Merry Thursday and happy June. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. What's up?
What it do?
How you living this morning?
I got to say, I've got some nervous energy going on right now.
It's beautiful, isn't it? What was the last time, fan-wise, you felt that?
Probably Super Bowl 50.
That was 8 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. 7.5 years ago. Probably for you, too?
That was last year. Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, fair enough. You got the same nervous energy he's got? Little fandom in you, ready to go. Been sitting around waiting for a while, watching Miami.
That's a lot of years too, watching George McLeod and Rafe LaFrentz, 17-win teams.
Yep. And then over the last bunch of years, had really good teams that were never able to get to the finish line. A team in the bubble that was a weird year that you kind of remember that got to the conference finals and got beat by the Lakers and Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Now as the number one seed and I don't want to say consensus, but certainly overwhelming favorite, right? Denver
yes,
Nuggets.
And that number today is just...
What is the number? I didn't even look
9?
At it. That's too many.
It just seems insane for game one.
Yeah, especially when the Heat have won their last how many game ones in series? Is it 6 in a row? The Heat continue to win. And the Heat are just sitting there like, yeah, y'all keep doubting us. Y'all keep telling me why we ain't going to win. Right? Now, they beat the number one seed in the first round. They did. But we got to tell the full story. Giannis Antetokounmpo missed 3 games in that series, did he not?
He did.
All right. Now, if Giannis does not miss 3, do you think the Heat win that series? We're never going to know, but it's opinion. Do you think they win the series? Probably not, right? But maybe. They went in and they ripped through the Knicks, and then they beat the Celtics, dominate the first 3, and then win in Game 7 on the road. Every bit of respect to the Heat, and just because you pick another team to win, it's not disrespect. Like there's 2 teams, one's going to win, one's going to lose. You got to pick one, right? It's the Michael LeBron argument. Just if you think Michael's better, doesn't mean LeBron stinks. Are you disrespecting LeBron if you say Michael Jordan's the best player ever? You're not, right? Nobody's telling you Miami's no good. This could be good. This could be short too, by the way. It could be short. Will it surprise you if Denver wins in 5?
I would be a little surprised if it's under 6.
Okay. 4 and 5 is short. 6 and 7 is long.
Just the way the Heat have been able to respond in the postseason, the way that they played in each matchup. Yeah, they took advantage of Giannis not being there, and it caught Milwaukee off guard because I do believe there was a feeling in Milwaukee that they understand it's Miami, but they would have time, and they didn't have time in that series. And then we saw what they did. You fast forward to the Eastern Conference Finals, jumping all over the Celtics before they started to figure some things out. But then ultimately, Game 7, you see who both those teams really are. So I'm expecting a hard-fought, really tough, really tight NBA Finals.
Well, I promise you, like, there might be a game that gets away. Miami ain't going away, right? I think you and I and everybody else, just because who Miami is, what they're about, how they get here, the grit, the grime, the dog in them. Like, I don't see any way that they don't fight and make this thing difficult. Michael Malone, the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, has said this will be the most difficult thing we've ever done. And people kind of look at him and go, well, what are you talking about? It will be the most difficult thing professionally they've ever done. Finishing it off in the NBA Finals, finishing it off against a team like this, against a coach who has won, against playoff Hemi, against that group of dogs. And at some point they get Tyler Hero back. I don't know what kind of difference he makes. Is he rusty? I mean, he's a hell of a shooter, but it's certainly another dimension that he will bring to them. This is exciting, man. And here we are, June 1st, and you get NBA Finals in the Mountain Time Zone. I don't know. It doesn't. It almost feels like a home game. Although, I mean, maybe more for you guys. But I don't know. Is there a little sense of pride? Might not be it. A little sense of closer to home, just because it's in our time zone and nothing's ever in our damn time zone.
Mountain
No, seriously, like nothing's ever in our time zone. I don't know. I'm kind of on the Mountain Time Zone team. I am. All right. Biggest story for you is what in game one? Is it altitude? Is it rest versus rust? Is it Jokic versus Bam? Is it what playoff Hemi do you get? Is it what's biggest story in game one to you?
I think the rest versus rust is overplayed because if you look at the Nuggets, it's pretty much 6-man rotation. So for them, this is a positive that you get your time, you can reset, you know who the dudes are that are playing the majority of the minutes in this series. It really comes down to, I think, the first quarter, first half. And that's where the Nuggets have been able to take advantage of teams, quote unquote, at altitude. By the way, if it was such a game changer, this wouldn't be the first time the Nuggets have been in the NBA Finals. Is it play a factor? Yes. But I believe in Eric Spoelstra when he says, man, we'll tip this off on top of Mount Everest. It might get you a little bit early, but these are NBA players ready to go. And I'm expecting Jimmy Butler, the Heat to set the tone, and I'm really interested and see the defenses that they try to throw at Jokic, because everyone will tell you they don't know what to do with that guy.
So Tim Legler on ESPN really broke it down, and Legler's a gym rat as a player, and he's a gym rat, I think, as an analyst. I say that where he's looking at hours of tape. When I remember Tim Legler playing in the CBA and with the Omaha Racers. He was a great shooter. Then he got into the NBA. And do you like him as an analyst?
I do.
So he broke down some Jokic stuff yesterday and showed why he's going to be really good. And they broke it down how quickly he makes decisions and reads. And they showed, because he's so long, he's catching the ball with the defender. And I'm showing you stuff on radio that doesn't work. So his big wingspan, he's catching the ball with his left side to the basket. So I want you to picture high right elbow, okay? Defender on his left side, left shoulder to the basket. So catching the ball high right hand, one-handed. Okay? So creating that space. But as he's catching the ball, his head is looking the other way and reading defenders and making a quick decision. And the ball's in his hand for less than a second, about 3/4 of a second, and making a great pass and finding it. And Legs he showed about 4 different clips on this and said that's why the zone may not work against him, is because his basketball IQ is so spectacular. And his passing skills is so good. I mean, as far as a big man, and we've seen some really good passing big men. But that's why the zone worked really well against the Celtics. That was the best illustration I saw of why he doesn't believe, and I, as of watching that, I don't either then, why it may not work against Jokic.
Because not only do you have a player who reads the floor like Jokic does, he can score every level.
Yep. Mid, low, and deep. Yes.
He can catch it, and he'll do that one quick drop step on you and be at the basket. We saw him do that a lot against the Lakers, kind of a different aggressiveness than you're used to seeing from Jokic. He can hit that little mid-range game, or he can step back and do that ridiculous behind the head 3-point shot where he launches this rainbow.
No, but it's not athletic. I mean, he's just not very good. It's boring. Isn't that what somebody told me yesterday?
That's what people try to say.
Whatever. All right. Mogo phones early 505-246-0610. Put it in your phone. That should be the number 505-246-0610. Kevin, get us started on June 1st. You are the first call of the 6th month of our, well, almost 15th year of this show. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
How are you doing today, Jeff?
Good. What's happening, Kevin?
Thank you for taking the call.
Thanks for calling. What's up?
Denver Nuggets, their burden on it and the history on it is to win this thing, or at least look good and push it into the 6th game, because they haven't been to the finals and they haven't won any finals. So as far as I know of basketball, they haven't really done anything yet, but I don't want to say that too strongly.
No, I mean, the fact is they never won a championship, so if that means they've never done anything, then you're right. I mean, if the definition of doing anything is winning a championship in the NBA, then you're right.
Also, another thing with Spoelstra, he's had experience going over there. Also, another thing, you don't have any big stars. You don't have Kawhi Leonard. You don't have Chris Paul. You don't have the big names over there, so it's going to be a team game.
Jimmy Butler's a big name, but yeah, that's a team game. That's the. If I think back, JJ, would this be the least star-studded team to hit the finals in a while? I mean, there's no Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. There's no LeBron. There's no. I mean, they were in the bubble. Yeah. You're probably right, Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jokic, he's a tall guy. Right. And we'll see what happens. Right, not too much going on in the sports world, so appreciate the fact that we get a chance to watch this whole thing, and hope you guys enjoy it.
All right, Kevin, enjoy it. Thanks for the call. Actually, there's a lot going on. Stanley Cup Final start. NBA. I mean, what more do you want? You got 2 championship series started. Baseball's in full swing. If you're a soccer guy, you got motorsports. The U.S. Open in golf is 2 weeks away. I don't know. Feels like there's a lot going on in sports. But it's whatever your appetite dictates to you, right? Whatever you like. I'm going to tell you, in D.C., one thing that you'll hear on this, you hear in sport. You've been in sports talk radio for how long? Have you been in sports talk radio? Quite a while, right?
Quite a while, 5 years.
All right. People always tell, there's a lull in the summer, right? You hear that a lot. You won't hear that here. Like JJ and I long ago adopt that's a lazy excuse. There's always something going on. It's when I hear a host tell me, it's slow and there's nothing going on, click. Why would I? Okay, then let me go listen to. There's always something going on. And are there busier or in slower times? Yeah, that's absolute. But you and I, a long time ago, there's always. I saw your eyes roll when he said that too. JJ just went, really? But Kevin, call us. We'll find something for you to talk about. All right, here's the numbers: 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. That is the 377 Brewery hotline. It is also your sports animal text line. You can send an email. My email inbox is filled up. 505. Oh, no, that's the phone number. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. If you're not following JJ on the Twitter, you're missing out. He is a great follow. If you are, Tweet at JJ and follow him. It's _JJ Buck. And you can watch the show every day. On our simulcast, Comcast Channel 26. On our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. Or on ProView Network's YouTube channel. Adrian produces on ProView Networks and does a great job. It's fun to watch the show. I got the thing yesterday. Why are you all dressed up, Jeff? Well, every once in a while, I didn't do laundry, and I put on a tie. All right, when we come back, we're going to update you on yesterday's big topic, which was New Mexico and New Mexico State. Are they going to play basketball against each other this year? What happened yesterday, some movements, more reaction from you all. The latest on that, will the Lobos and Aggies resume their basically century-old rivalry? It's the opening drive on a June 1st on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. 610, the sports animal.
Everywhere I went yesterday. So really, are the Lobos and Aggies really? They're not going to play? Really? How can that be? I spoke both with Eddie Nunez, New Mexico's athletic director, and Mario Mocha, New Mexico State's athletic director, yesterday, and I think both of them. I do believe this. and I know many of you on both sides feel differently. I do believe they both want the series to continue and play twice. Now, there may be they may not think, somebody along the way may feel, is it best to play twice? But I think they all understand, outside of just simply, the basketball side of it. I think both of them see the big picture, right? I think they both understand what it means to their fan base and the rival fan base. Do you disagree with that?
No. It feels a lot like, I don't know why one or the other is like waiting for someone to just take responsibility for it. It's all right. Can you all just hand someone else a Post-it note saying, "Hey, we're going to hire 10 extra cops for these games. If you want us to do it, we'll do it, and we'd just like to make sure that you're going to do it as well."
Yeah, saying things and pointing fingers in the media, and I'll preface this again, and I said this yesterday. I like Mario. I like Eddie. I consider both of them friends. I do, and I'm not picking sides in this. I'm not. I won't do that. What we did yesterday, and I think the way most of you came off, is our angle on this was, I don't think anybody gives a damn who's to blame or who's.
The fans will handle that on social media. They're doing plenty
and they
of that.
seem to be doing that, and literally, this is partisan politics, right? Depending on what color red your shirt is, or your hat is, or your allegiance is where you're siding on this, right? I don't think anybody gives a damn. They just want to see those games. I said to you all yesterday, and I, after a lot of conversation, I believe this. The two biggest sports dates annually on the calendar, and I run the New Mexico Bowl, and we announced our date yesterday, but I understand where these two games are. I think our game's a big date. By the way, Saturday, December 16th, 3:45 kickoff for the 18th annual New Mexico Bowl. But these are two of the biggest dates, if not the two biggest dates on the sports calendar in this state. Game in Las Cruces, the game in Albuquerque. And so I don't think anybody gives a damn about why it's not being played and who's not returning whose call and who's got a plan and who doesn't. I mean, they might give a damn for a day, but when it's all said and done, what happened to your rivalry? And if it goes away, and I told both those guys this, and I think they get it. Athletic directors and coaches will come and go. The people who are going to be left here are going to be those fans, you people who live here, us. And people could go, what the hell happened to the rivalry? Remember when we used to play the Aggies? Remember when we played the Lobos twice a year? Remember we played them once, for crying out loud? Who destroyed it? So that's where we were. I do know that a very high-profile state senator has been involved. Talked to both of his athletic directors and basically wants to get this done. It sounds like the police chief at New Mexico State did call Eddie Nunez yesterday, and they had conversation. New Mexico State issued this statement. I'll read this to you. And this is in response to Jeff Grammer wrote a story in yesterday's Journal, and this is something that, JJ, I told you about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I mean, this has been brewing, right? This didn't just happen. These conversations have been going on, and there's been a real potential over the last bunch of months that this wouldn't happen. New Mexico State had to hire a basketball coach to start scheduling. Jason Hooten's putting a schedule together. and they got to be real with each other and transparent. But anyway, here's the statement from New Mexico State. Quote, "We know these games mean a lot to the people of New Mexico. Unfortunately, we're not sure what the holdup has been on getting these matchups scheduled. The NMSU Police Department has had numerous conversations with the UNM Police Department over the past few months to share our safety and security plans. Additionally, our NMSU Police Chief planned on reaching out directly to the UNM Athletic Director later. Our personnel have national level training, and our game management processes meet industry standards for events of this magnitude. We're hopeful we'll be able to see our friends from Albuquerque in Las Cruces later this year." End quote. So, whatever. it kind of says, I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I've been told from both sides there were incidents at games in the other stadium and or arena, right? Somebody came on the field and did this. They threw this. Both sides have issues. Okay, fine. Acknowledge it and clean it up. If that means more security, if that means way stricter security at these particular games, so do it.
Do it. Because and then the constant screaming you get too from Aggie fans is, do you know Albuquerque, how dangerous Albuquerque is?
Heard
And
that
you think
plenty.
you want us in Las Cruces to put more security?
Yes.
Then ask the same thing from New Mexico. It's not
and now
crazy.
They have. And now they have.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you want us to have more security at the game? That sounds like a good idea. How about you do the same, and we'll just make sure we're on the same page and move forward. Instead, it's this weird, well, safety this, safety that, but we'll play a football game with potentially double the fans in attendance, because I'm not worried about that, despite it being an issue at a football game in Las Cruces last year. But it's in Albuquerque, but this, but that. Just do it.
I think it's fair to assume
Is this just one where it's like the other doesn't want to act like they're making concession or being bossed around by the other school?
You mean like the debt limit conversation between Biden and McCarthy, where we can't let our people know we made concessions, because that's what
we can't act like New Mexico's dictating this.
I don't know. I think it's fair to assume that for a New Mexico State game in which wherever it's played,
Unfortunately, everyone's gonna have a story of a bad interaction.
That's right. And this happened there, and those people are this. And no, I went to your place, and okay.
It shouldn't. Honestly, if you be like, I won't go to a game, you shouldn't have to feel like that.
That's right.
And if we need at this point in time to add more cops, and you've said it, Jeff, people that can get it done will get it done if it's asked for.
Well, and so this is one of the things I learned yesterday after our show, and what I said yesterday I learned is true. I said, if it's a resource issue, okay, if it's a money issue, if it's a resource issue in regards to bodies, personnel, make a call to Santa Fe, and I was assured by people who can make it happen that the resources will be made available. If that means money and or officers to make sure people are safe, Santa Fe, and that means lawmakers and or the governor's office will make sure that those are available, okay? I think it's fair to assume in both stadiums, both arenas, more so Pan Am than the Pit for basketball, both stadiums for football. Is it fair to assume you need to staff that game differently than the rest of
Right
the
now, yes.
Okay.
Right now, absolutely. And it's not like the president's coming to town where you're giving away state secrets. It's the...
Well, no, but my point is...
Here's the amount of security we're at.
You're going to have... we're talking reality, right? New Mexico is going to most likely get their biggest crowd of the year for the New Mexico State game, correct?
Yes.
The last 2 times I've been here, you and I have walked around that parking lot and just go, damn, this is cool. This is what college football is supposed to be. DC, I don't know why I got into DC instead of DC, but I kind of like DC. You all right with DC? All right. If you're not, I won't do it. I don't want to, soda popper. What was our guy, Joe? What did I call him? Grape juice. You didn't like grape juice. You and I have walked around the parking lot and go, wow, this is really cool. What if this was like the 7 Saturdays a year, right? Fair to assume you're going to get your biggest crowd at UNM. You're going to have to staff it differently. Same at Aggie Memorial, right? You're going to get a bigger crowd. And by the way, it's a rivalry. There's going to be emotion. Can I tell you the biggest thing I got from fans, from people, just basic people who aren't involved in the camps of these two athletic departments? Why can't they get this done? What is the freaking issue? And I can't tell you how many times yesterday it's like people are like, just what's the issue? Put together your plan, Mario. That's what I heard. I heard Aggie fans going, he's got a plan. Where's your plan? So I guess now New Mexico State wants a plan. They want to see the plan for football. So, okay. They still need to produce a plan for basketball, whatever that means. And you're sitting here just going, I don't get it, man. Why is this so tough? Why this? And this is like only a New Mexico thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not going to play a centuries-old rivalry because
this is one where don't tell me about the staff meets the requirement. This is a situation where I don't want those dudes, those men and women that give their time to be ushers, event staff, having to look out for fights. They're not going to stop.
Well, those aren't the people, right?
We're staffed to the minimum requirement. We don't need that right now.
What's the demographic of your basic usher?
Older.
Okay. You're expecting them to stop a fight between young, intoxicated people. That's not their job. Their job's to show you where your damn seat is.
Take extra precautions. It makes sense right now. Just do it to cover your bases.
I will give you this. And we had a call yesterday, or it was an email, right? Where a guy said, this happened and I'm never going to a Lobo game. Eddie did acknowledge to me yesterday. He says, we've had incidences and we've acknowledged there's incidences in our games and we've got to get better. He flat out said, we've got a plan and we've got to get better. There's been stuff at games and we're putting plans in place and hopefully we've gotten better. So he's acknowledged, okay, stuff happens at games. By the way, it does probably at every game you've ever been to somewhere, something happens, right? This isn't just here. This isn't just a here thing. But Eddie's acknowledged, stuff happens. We got to get better, and we will. Because people are people, and alcohol's alcohol, and people and alcohol get together, and sometimes people are just a-holes, right? All right, 505-246-0610. I need to update that, and if you want to get in, you can. I just so many different opinions yesterday on that. I'll read you some of your correspondence on that. When we come back, Pop-Tart Bowl? When? Yes, please. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Channel.
This report brought to you by Sandia Area Federal Credit Union.
Line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman. Quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get one run back. That one hit the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
Ready for the Pop-Tarts Bowl? It's got a great logo, doesn't it? I don't know that you would know it's a football game just by the logo. Bowl season schedules were announced yesterday. TV schedules. I don't know that it was scheduled to all come out. TV schedules and everything, but we'll go through the global football schedule. And Aggie's got some nice football. I told you a couple weeks ago their opener, and it was announced yesterday. New Mexico State's opener on 0 week at Las Cruces against UMass is going to be on ESPN in primetime. They got a nice slot for that game. So you'll be able to watch New Mexico State on ESPN in 0 week. Bowl season will start on Saturday. The first game will be the Bahamas Bowl, the Hometown Lenders Bahamas Bowl. And then we're going to play here on that first Saturday of bowl season, the 18th New Mexico Bowl, Saturday, December 16th, 5:45 East Coast time, which I love the window, 3:45 local. We got last year, we played that primetime game at 5:30. And it was cold, but everybody's like, wow, we love the day to party, but it's cold, and what do you do? And so we kind of got the best of both worlds. We're going to kick off in sunshine. We're going to end in chill. And the window was dictated a little bit by the New Orleans Saints playing at home on Sunday.
Darn NFL, man.
People, I don't understand. The
Saints and Raiders ruining everything.
Well, certainly having a key part in it. Saints play at home on Sunday meant the New Orleans Bowl had to back up. So they backed up into that window that we often have, that 12:15 kickoff on ESPN, which is fine. And I'm good with that. So New Orleans, that way they finish that game. They're able to scrub the field and repaint it for the Saints game.
I like it too for the pregame experience.
Yeah, I like it too. So
rolling out of bed, 6 a.m. It's like, let's go tailgate.
Us and our staff. I mean, then we can get in at like 8 instead of like 5. It's good. So I'm excited about having that window again on Saturday afternoon. Certainly next year, there's a potential of things changing with the college football playoff going into that Saturday and playing a game on Friday and 3 on Saturday. And I don't know, the networks haven't been decided on that, but and the calendar flips next year. This year, the third Saturday in December is the 16th, meaning there's two Saturdays before Christmas this year. There's the 16th and the 23rd. Next year, there's just one. It's the 21st. So it's the calendar will flip on us a little next year. But this is a good one as you go through it. But the Pop-Tarts Bowl, renamed, it was the Cheez-Its Bowl, which used to be the Camping World Bowl, which used to be went through this yesterday.
Bowl games.
No, this one, like whichever one you remember it by, but it's Camping World Stadium. It's in Orlando. So they got that, and it's I think it's a good slate. And Bad Boy Mowers is on the Pinstripe Bowl. I don't know if you knew that. There's the bowl game down in Mobile. Used to be the GoDaddy Bowl. I don't even know what it was last year. What was it last year? It's now called the 68 Ventures Bowl. But that's been around for a while. I think those are the only ones that really kind of changed names. And who knows? Maybe we'll have a new name soon too. Who knows? All right. Did you look at the Lobo football television schedule? Did you like it? Did you see what was going on? They got.
But here's the thing, Jeff.
Yeah.
You can't expect a lot of Lobo football games to be on TV right now.
You get five on the networks. So you'll open up the Texas A&M game on the road. Is going to be on ESPN, big ESPN. Then late season games, October, November, CBS Sports against Nevada, Fox at Boise State, Fox at Fresno, and then CBS Sports against Utah State. So then they'll fill out the rest of this with, whatever the TV is going to be, right? So the New Mexico State game, the UMass game, you got a home game against San Jose State, home game against Hawaii. Who's what
Stadium,
do? Maybe
ESPN Plus, Mountain West Network,
maybe local. No ESPN Plus.
Probably for the UMass.
Well, for the UMass game, yeah, no home games for ESPN Plus.
No.
But yeah, so they'll be available for you. I thought New Mexico State got a really nice, and this was the whole point of going to the Wednesday games. So like they're going to get a lot of national television on those Wednesday games. First game's going to be on ESPN against UMass. ESPN Plus for Western Illinois. ESPN Plus for Liberty. CBS Sports Network on a Wednesday for FIU. That's at home. CBS Sports Network the next week, home game, league game against Sam Houston. The next week they get the UTEP game on a Wednesday on ESPN2. The next week on a Tuesday. So all those October games are either on ESPN2 or on CBS Sports. Louisiana Tech on CBS Sportsnet. ESPN platforms will do Middle Tennessee. ESPN platforms will do Western Kentucky and Jacksonville State, and then probably the SEC network for Auburn. So almost all their games are on TV. I mean, Conference USA has done them pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, it's solid. It's opportunity. It's availability. They can back up what they did last year.
Get in on that. I think the exposure is going to be really good. I think the exposure is going to be really good for a lot of people. The interesting thing this year is that the transformation of Conference USA for the Aggies was at their meetings last week. I looked around that room. JJ, there's no reason New Mexico State can't compete in that league right away. I think there's a couple of good programs, and you're going to laugh at me, but Western Kentucky, I think, is nice. Yeah, and this is one of those, well, if I don't know about it, they can be good. Their young coach, Tyson Helton, I think is a terrific coach. And what Rick Stockstill has done at Middle Tennessee, every year bowl eligible, that's the team that beat San Diego State in a bowl game last year. Middle Tennessee's good. And then Liberty, you expect to be good, right?
Yeah.
UTEP. Gavin Hardison's back again. I was talking to Dana Dimmel.
Like a seventh-year player at this point.
Doesn't it feel that way, the quarterback from Hobbs? Mm-hmm. And I said, "Who's your quarterback?" He said, "Hardison's back." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, I just figured he was a granddad by now, right? So they should be good. And then watch what Rich Rodriguez does with Jacksonville State. I don't expect it right away. Watch what Mike McIntyre does at FIU. They got better. Those are guys who have coached power level, been in big bowl games. We'll see. So. Bill says on Lobo schedule, guys, I find that the football game versus New Mexico State is on. Basketball is in question. Only UNM would come up with this. This whole mess started at a football game where folks are drinking at the tailgate and drinking in the stands and cause problems in the stands. Basketball is held inside a facility. Or does it say face? I don't know what that word is. Limited tailgating, if any. It has more security. State basketball is not what it was and would hurt UNM's rankings. And by the way, Mario should be gone, guilty as much as the others who are gone or let go. It's from Bill. We had this conversation about how state will hurt UNM's rankings. So why don't you tell me who you're adding to the schedule this year that will help you instead of hurt you. That's going to help your gait any more than they will. And did you care those years, the majority of the last decade, when, I don't know, you were hurting their rankings? Did you care then? That was a good rivalry, right?
It's a rivalry game. There's a lot of Lobo fans right now that are dead set on don't need to play them right now because they're going to bring down the net ranking.
Yeah.
Just go win the game then and move on.
Get a true road.
I'm not going to drop you from.
I know.
Oh, we're 75 in the net right now, but we played in Mexico State now we're 175.
Oh yeah, we just dropped all the way down because we beat them. James says, "Boy, I sure don't get this, Jeff. Why are the women only playing New Mexico State once? I've heard rumors of some of the non-conference garbage Bradbury has scheduled, and it's not better than the Lady Lobos playing the Aggies twice." From James. I don't. Do you know why they're only playing once?
Nope.
I don't either. Yeah, James, I honestly don't know the answer. I'll try to find it for you, but I don't know. 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. When we come back, let's stay on the subject of college basketball. NIL is keeping dudes in college. They flamed out as a 1 seed in the tournament last year, and their best player just pulled out of the NBA draft. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force.
That's us. Dan says when the alarm goes off, it's 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. I want to hear the stars. I want to hear Jeffrey. I want to hear Juan Jose and Derek Charles. The NBA is a star-driven league. That's why it feels like a championship game without LeBron, without Steph, without KD. It's missing something. This is totally different than the NCAA, which is all about chaos and bracket busting, not about the quality of the product on the field. Okay? So he's out. Dan is on the NBA Finals. That's cool. He likes the college basketball. Well, the college basketball has been helped a little bit by the NIL, would you say? And stars are coming back. I'm more surprised than you are that the player of the year, Zach Edey, Purdue, withdrew his name from the NBA draft. Is going back. Now, there's big NIL deals for him there. A couple other big-name players are realizing, I might not make big money in the NBA. And realistically, at many cases, guys can make more money going back to college than they can going overseas and playing in Poland or Israel or Iran or Europe, wherever, right? Ultimately, do you think NIL, and we're still in the infancy, is helping college basketball with more and more players coming back and the quality being better?
It is, because of decisions like that. That doesn't surprise me at all. Dude's not a first-round pick. So why would you leave school if you're not going to get a guaranteed NBA contract? But you come back and you have your guaranteed NIL deal for this season. And with some of the older players in college basketball, I do believe it's keeping a few of these guys around for that extra year, where in the past they would have kept their name in the NBA draft.
I think that's right. Couple other pieces, Mountain West news. San Diego State got 2 players back that they weren't sure that they were getting. Jaden Ledee was in the transfer portal, and Malcolm Butler, the star of, well, many a game, the one in the pit, the one in the Final Four, put his name in the draft. Both of those guys came back to San Diego State, or announced they're coming back to San Diego State this week. They lose Keyshawn Johnson to the transfer portal. Did he end up at Arizona? Where did I see him go?
Yes, he did.
Arizona?
Arizona landed Johnson and Caleb Love, the North Carolina guard.
Yeah, they've had a hell of a run in the offseason. So, just some dudes bouncing around. Chad, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How are you, Chad?
Hey, guys. Good morning. What's up?
Lots. What's happening?
Yeah, no, I like your topic this morning because it's definitely The college basketball players, I remember watching Purdue play against Fairleigh Dickinson and watching that 7'4" Zach, I think is it 80? He looked like a man among boys. Like he was literally looked like he could swallow up the entire team of Fairleigh Dickinson in one gulp. But he just, he also reminded me of one of those guys. There's a lot of guys that dominate in the college level. And he reminds me of one of those guys. Like, you could go to the NBA, he's not very coordinated, he's a little slow, lacks a little balance. He's like, kind of reminds me of a bit of Boban, for the guy for the Mavericks. Yeah. Where, for a lot of guys, if they don't know their how to recruit, they can easily take him, he's a college player of the year. You look at his size, but when I just look at him and I break down, I don't see him as a starter in the NBA. I see him, coming off the bench, helping out in the middle, down low, but just not having all the skill sets entirely you want at the pro level. So why not bank on making a ton of money at Purdue? He'll be a star. He'll be a legend. And I could see a lot of guys just hanging around, kind of like, look at Johnny Manziel. He's a great example. Great at the college level. He would have made a ton of money with NIL today.
Adam Morrison.
And yet today, didn't do well in the pros.
Yeah, Adam Morrison's another one. All right, no, great stuff, Chad. Look, there's nothing wrong with being a great college player, and it just didn't translate to the pros. Adam Morrison, Kellen Moore, Tim Tebow. I mean, right? There's tons of them.
Playoff winning quarterback Tim Tebow.
Oh, that's right. You guys don't let me speak. That's usually my line, DC. Usually goes the other way on that. And when we come back, he got fired. Now he's got $100 million coming his way. $100 million. Oh, and he's got a new gig. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, DC, Adrian, y'all, everybody on June 1st on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Órale! Porque June 1 came quick, did it not? Start writing. Well, how do we write the date? You ever write the date anymore? Who writes? I give out pens every year. Like the New Mexico Bowl pens. I was at a meeting yesterday and we gave out these pens. You like these pens? Like the little weight on them?
Very nice pen.
Yeah, no, I like pen. Do you like writing utensils? Right? Right. And we give them to the players. I'm like, does anybody write anymore? Do you write notes? You do. I see you do it. Did you need a new pen?
I know. I'm just a pack of pen guys.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's
you are. Yeah. I don't even know what my point was. But it's June 1st, and we're starting the NBA Finals today. Denver hosting Miami.
6-1-23 is what you need to write down. So that's your point.
1, 2, 3. 6, 1, 2, 3. 6, 1, 2, 3 today. All right. The favorite coming out of the West. Do you remember who the betting favorite when the playoffs started to come out of the West? And it wasn't the number 1 seed Denver Nuggets. Do you remember who it was?
It's the Suns.
It was the Suns. They got beat in the second round. They got through the Clippers and got beat by, the 1 seed, the Denver Nuggets. And they went and fired their coach, Monty Williams. I've never been in a locker room with Monty Williams. I think I've never heard anybody say a bad word about it, Monty Williams. You know, anybody who's like, yeah, whatever. Now, the only thing you can say about Monty Williams is, well, he hadn't won anything, right? But he's been a head coach for, 4 years? Went to the finals with the Suns. Chris Paul got hurt.
The coach of the year last year.
Yeah. He's now got the largest deal for a head coach in NBA history. What is Eric Spoelstra sitting there thinking? Like, he's got to be licking his chops when he saw this come across yesterday and call his agent and say, you see this?
Not the Heat way.
It might be the Heat
Not
way.
the Heat way.
6 years, $72 million to go coach in Detroit, which has been basketball purgatory for the last 2 decades. Is it not?
No, because they won finals in the mid-2000s.
What's 2 decades? Well, it's mid-2020s, right? 15 years. 15 years.
Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was trying to think when Chauncey Billups did that. I thought it was longer than that ago. I mean, if you outside of Orlando and Minnesota, it could be an 8-year deal worth $100 million. Oh, by the way, the Suns still owe him $20 million over the next 3 years.
It's the only way you could get Monty Williams to come to town, was to overpay him. And good on you, Monty Williams.
No doubt.
The brand new young hotshot owner in Phoenix did you dirty. At Ishba, firing Monty Williams was a disaster.
Yes.
It's a disaster. There was no way you fire Monty Williams.
Have they hired yet? They have not, right?
After just not even a half a season, like a quarter of a season with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and you don't have a rotation built yet, and you fire Monty Williams. That was a disaster for the Phoenix Suns. That made 0 sense to me. It's just a young hotshot owner wanting to make his shot, and take his stand against a head coach that, no, that's not the reason you lost, man. You just didn't have enough in the tank. Even with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, they got you some games. You saw how explosive they can be. Put a couple role players on that team.
I mean, all those guys you traded to get Kevin Durant, all the guys you unloaded.
Just like that, the Phoenix Suns could once again be favorites in the Western Conference. But they made that move, and for Detroit, you have to overpay because this is a terrible job to take. If you're Monty Williams, you're like, I'm going to go get that bag. Thank you very much. Because he does not deserve to be coaching the Detroit Pistons.
That bag is a heavy, heavy, heavy bag. Guaranteed 72 could be up to 800, not 800, 8 years, $100 million. Oh, by the way, Phoenix still owes him 20. I mean, I just got fired. Look, have you ever been fired? I have. I'm not too proud to tell you I've been fired. You've ever been fired?
No, I worked for a family company for a long time.
Really? So they told me the first time I got fired, maybe even the second time. You haven't been in this business yet until you get fired. Oh, all right. I'm going to tell you, I didn't walk away with a bag like $120 million. I got two little envelopes. God bless him. Now, they got a nice little collection of talent. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, James Wiseman. Were they the third pick in this draft? Right? They got a high pick again this year. They could they become a contender in the East? I imagine they could. When you look at the future of the East, you say Boston's still going to be good. The process is still going in Philadelphia. The Knicks are coming hard. Miami is Miami, and they shouldn't have been the fourth name I mentioned because they're in the final. But did I say Milwaukee yet? So Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, New York, Philly. And then after that, I mean, what's coming? Why not Detroit? Cleveland's coming. Cleveland had a nice year.
And this will be
Cleveland was a 3 seed.
A really good case study in matching a good coach with a young roster, which is hard to do at times in the NBA. I think we saw last year with the Coach of the Year, Mike Brown, take a huge step forward with the Sacramento Kings. I don't think the Pistons are at that level where the Kings were when Mike Brown took over, but this is going to be a good test for, all right, it's a young team with a really good NBA coach. Can that mean you get these young guys to be competitive?
Yeah. They got the 5th overall pick, by the way. 5th overall pick. So there you go. All right, we're gonna get into the NBA Finals and hear some sound coming up in the next segment. I just never thought of this. Did you watch Winning Time on the HBO series on the Lakers? All right, so this picture, there's a picture on CBS Sports right now of Austin Reeves. Does that not look like the character who played Paul Westhead in that? In that, does he?
Jason Segel.
Yeah. Austin Reeves looks just like the way Paul Westhead was portrayed. Draymond Green says, "I enjoyed watching Celtics fans suffer, celebrating the misery of Celtics fans. He's happy they lost and to stop being the quote." The way y'all are. Is Draymond good for the league? I know I'm supposed to not like Draymond. I know.
Yes,
everybody. I love him.
There's a balance to it because you have your guys that talk. Draymond Green, Damian Lillard doing their podcast, getting you stuff out there, talking about the game, and then you have your Nikola Jokic and Jimmy Butler and how they handle things.
You know why I like him? Because he talks and he backs it up. This ain't no Dylan Brooks, right? Who just runs it. Hey, he's kind of funny, right? He's kind of funny. When you win, you can talk, it feels like, right? Now, is that hypocritical? It might be. But, when he talks, it's not like a me talk. It's not how great I am. Is it controversial? Is it, I'm glad those people... But it's not talking about me. And I don't know. There's something I enjoy about it, and it's probably hypocritical to everything that I kind of lean towards. But there's something about him that I enjoy.
Unless he has an issue with a teammate, then he's just going to punch you in the face.
Well, that's a problem. I never, and that should have turned me completely, right? No, I mean, it should have, right? It should have completely turned me. What an absolute a-hole.
Jordan Poole did not deserve that.
He did not.
Preseason.
Nobody does.
When I talked to him after his playoff performance.
Then you want to drop him, that's fine. The way it went down, I thought it was chicken bleep, right? He kind of walked up to him and chest bumped him and then just dropped him out. And I thought it was bad. But I don't know. I always find him entertaining. When we come back, you're going to hear what Eric Spoelstra has to say about the altitude. It's real. You live in it every day. They're coming from sea level. They've just played a 7-game series. Everybody's telling them they're supposed to be tired. So how will the altitude affect the Heat in Game 1? Their head coach is going to tell you next as we get set to start the NBA Finals. It's the opening drive. Thank you for being with us this morning. Appreciate you spending time with us. I know you got a lot of things you could do. Thank you for opting every morning to spend some time with the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, finally we get to go tonight. We get a finals. NBA Finals. So when do I get Stanley Cup final? Tomorrow? Saturday. Well, that's a wait, too. That'll be in Vegas. Two perennial hockey towns, Miami and Las Vegas, going at each other. Miami's popping, by the way. Just popping. And they're both on the road, and then they'll both be home at the same time, but they'll figure it out. All right, so here we go tonight. In Nuggets have been off for over a week. They swept the Lakers in 4. They've been home resting, getting ready. They're used to the altitude. Miami just played 7. Went straight from Boston to Denver. Now they got to deal with the altitude, all this stuff, right? Eric Spoelstra said we'll play them on Everest. I don't care. How does this play? I think you and I and you and every one of us who live at altitude, we understand it's a real deal, right? Now,
we're conditioned.
We are, but when you have people, family,
trained
friends,
professionals,
when they come visit you from sea level, you see it, right? Yeah. My mom comes, she steps off the plane. Now she's 86, but whoa, right? My brother does. Oh, dude, the altitude's real. Like, okay, so here's Eric Spoelstra. He's the head coach of the Miami Heat, and obviously this was a big talking point yesterday. And so, what does he think about it?
Our guys are in great shape. They're ready to compete. If Denver wants to tip this thing off at the top of Everest, we'll do that. This thing is going to be decided between the 4 lines. They also got to come back to Miami if we want to make it about that. We'll turn off the air conditioning. They got to play in 90-degree humidity. This thing is going to be decided between those 4 lines. And we'll decide it then.
Basically, I don't give a crap. Do you remember Billy Tubbs, the late Billy Tubbs? Do you know who that was? Billy Tubbs was the head coach at Oklahoma at TCU. When he was at TCU, and it was the old WAC. TCU, you may not have heard this. I know you've heard this one. But Billy Tubbs brought TCU into the pit in the old WAC to play the Lobos. And he was asked about the altitude, and his line was, what does it matter? It doesn't matter about the altitude. The game's played indoors, isn't it? So it doesn't matter. I've always loved listening to people talk about what it means. Honestly, it is real physically, but I got to believe it's as much above the shoulders as it is below the shoulders.
I'm sure there's certain moments, and athletes will tell you, to listen to them, like you kind of got to push through it at a certain point, but then you're still a conditioned athlete. You're on the floor, and can it be an advantage? It can be. And that's why if you're the Nuggets, you want quick start. Try to use it early because the Heat are going to get their wind. They're going to respond, and that's not going to be a focal point of the series.
Yeah, it's real, but it's going to be way more real if you let it get into your head. Go play basketball. They might have shorter rotations. They might sub out a little bit more. They're deep enough. They got enough undrafted rookies. They can pull another undrafted rookie into the rotation. They're going to get Tyler Hero back. He's not going to play in Game 1, by the way. That came out today. No Tyler Hero in Game 1. I don't think that's a surprise. You know what's real? Nikola Jokic is real. Okay? Nikola Jokic is real. They got to go deal with a guy who's a 2-time MVP. Guy that's probably going to be the primary defender on him is Bam Adebayo. This is Bam Adebayo on playing, defending, going up against Nikola Jokic?
Make him take tough shots, force him into tough shots, and live with the result. That's the biggest thing for me. I feel like this is one of those series where he becomes very dangerous when you let his teammates get involved, and he can make those incredible passes and end up with 12 assists.
Is the passing what makes him so special? Or it's just the whole thing, right? It's a big guy who can absolute bully you down low. It's a big guy who is as good of a passer as there probably is in the game, and it's a big guy who can hit a three.
The passing is next level because he's their point guard.
Yeah.
Because Jamal Murray will play ISO basketball a lot of times, so he's not initiating a lot of the sets. And then it's Joker in the high pick and roll. It's Joker with the basketball, beating Murray, getting him his shots, or setting everyone else up. And that's why you look down and you're like, oh, dude is averaging 29.9 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 10.3 assists in the playoffs.
He's averaging a triple-double in the playoffs. Yeah, he's special. I mean, you're not going to expect Bam Adebayo to tell you exactly what they're going to do, but I mean, that's it. You know, force him and accept the result. All right, so those are two of the three talking points going into game one. The other one is the break, right? We've discussed this, rest or rust. What will the Nuggets look like? Will they look fresh or will they look rusty? And I got to believe they're going to look fresh. I just, what does rusty mean this time of year? Ask anybody who's played for 8 months, gone through a schedule, or 9 months, whatever the hell it's been. Do you want to play every day or every other day? Or you want 10 days off? The answer's easy, right? And it wasn't 10 days off. They scrimmaged. They didn't play a game for 10 days. But they've been practicing and scrimmaging. And so Jamal Murray, their star guard, addressed the rest versus rust deal.
Yeah, watched all the games. No, it's the best of 4. It's the best of 7. So first of 4, we didn't know who we were gonna play. We prepared for both, and once we finally knew, it kind of brought us all to ease to be able to prepare, mentally just for the matchups and game plan and all that. So it was a little relieving to see a couple of days ago the result.
It was relieving. What's more an issue there? When you're sitting around not knowing who you're going to play, or the angst of getting out of your routine? I don't know. It's like anything else, man. It's whatever you want to make it. And us with a microphone in front of our face make way more about it than those guys do. I promise you. Michael Malone's a damn good coach. Michael Malone got them through this. I have no doubt that Denver is going to be ready to go. Now, Miami's really good in games 1. But is there any doubt in your mind that this team's going to come out not ready?
No, and this is one of the things that I do appreciate about this series is because these teams, this isn't fake. Like the way that Jokic talks, Jamal Murray, like they're measured just like kind of Jimmy Butler, he's talks about the team and his guys, like they both have the same mentality. But when you get on the floor, you're going to get the energy, you're going to get the intensity that you want. And if you remember last year, there's some drama between these teams. If in a game, Markieff Morris fouled Jokic, they were up 17 where the Nuggets in transition, and it's a game where Jokic then pushed Morris from behind when he wasn't expecting it. Morris got hurt, and then Jimmy Butler in the Heat in the hallway post game tried to confront Jokic. So there's intensity there. You're going to hear them say all the right things when it comes to talking with the media, but when these teams are on the floor, you're going to get the battle that you want.
Jimmy Butler addressed that yesterday.
I think there's a lot of stuff about the whole situation that people don't understand, and I'll let that, stay back there. But I don't think it has too much to do with anything. It's a thing of the past, high-level competition. But I will say I wasn't talking to Jokic. That wasn't my beef, so make sure you write that. And the individual who I was talking to definitely know who I was talking
to. He may be the freaking greatest ever. As far as communicating basketball-wise, this makes sense. I've told you I think Shaquille O'Neal is the best ever at work in the media, right? In my opinion. I feel he was the best ever in just playing the media to his advantage. But Jimmy Butler is the most candid, unscripted, non-cliche star who has to speak before and after every game that I can recall in a long time. Does that make sense? You know where I'm going with this? His demeanor, his emotion doesn't get high or low. He tells you the truth without crossing the line, whatever that even means. You know where he's coming from. You know he's not full of crap. He doesn't feed you a bunch of lines and cliches and one game at a time thing. And when he does, it's kind of like, well, that's what I mean. I don't know. I can listen to his interviews because they are the most. Give me an athlete who's more genuine in interviews than that. And this isn't one of those where we say we want to hear what they want to say and then we beat them up for it. No. Who do you feel when you listen to an interview? Who do you feel like, wow, that guy actually is talking to me? Like he's thinking. He answers the question, and kind of gives it a little bit of thought. I don't know. Am I putting way too much into listening to Jimmy Butler? Because I really enjoy it.
You got to listen to some more guys in the league.
Who else?
Jokic,
Okay.
Giannis. There's a lot of measured guys at the top of the game right now.
He is so good. I'm going to put Jimmy Butler at the top just because I've been listening to him a whole lot recently. Nikola Jokic hasn't played in 2 weeks or something like that. So, but he's terrific. All right, 505-246-0610. DeAndre Hopkins is on the market. One of the best receivers in the National Football League. 2 teams passed. What says he? What tweets he? And where will he next catch passes? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420.
Before he says, they were having the altitude conversation yesterday. Make your call, Nuggets and Heat. Text line, Terry says, when my son went up to play football at KU, and he told us they had something in the air up there called oxygen. Yeah, that's what happens, right? You train here and you go down to sea level. You feel good. Text line's in on Nikola Jokic. Jokic's ability to shoot from range is what makes him so dangerous because it pulls the center guarding him out of the lane so the smaller guys can shoot with less contention on their drives to the bucket. I think all of it, yes. Certainly the fact that you've got to respect his shot, that you can pull a 7'2" guy away from the basket, that he can handle a ball, that he can shoot it, that he can pass it, he can put it on the floor. Yes. The answer is yes to all of that, right? But make your call, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. If you still somehow pay a toll, we'll take care of that for you. All right, DeAndre Hopkins is on the market. I guess the Jets are out, and it looks like Tennessee is out. Robert Saleh is the head coach of the Jets. and he said, "No, we're happy with our room. We're happy with what we've done. We've redone our room. We love the group." Jets, Mike Vrabel said they're focused on the players they have. And in response, DeAndre Hopkins tweeted, "Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil." Is this like him just taking receipts, keeping receipts, and I'm going to go on a scorched earth tour? Like, come on, man. It doesn't work everywhere. Guys have to take everything so personally, don't they?
Some do.
Why? He's going to be just fine, don't you think?
He's going to be just fine.
So
and he has it. I really, depending on his salary demands, Nuke Hopkins could go wherever he wants to go.
You know what I'm starting to feel? I'm starting to feel a reunion with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. I just, that's where they started together in Houston, the two of them. Deshaun Watson said this week, "I'd love to have him back." Evidently, they keep in contact. They're tight. And I go back to last offseason when Devontae Adams wanted to reunite with his college quarterback, Derek Carr, and he found a way to get to Oakland, to Vegas. Now, Carr is gone, but they made that happen. The more I look at it and I look at the receiving core in Cleveland, they may need him the most, right? As far as the teams that are out there with, you would think that would be in the market for this. Cleveland feels right.
Well, Sean Watson talked about it this week, saying yes, he'd always be open to a reunion with Nuke Hopkins.
Who wouldn't be?
If Deshaun Watson is playing well, and also at this point in time, why wouldn't he?
Right.
Like it wasn't. He's not. We see all the time. Dudes come back from injuries that keep him off field. This dude just didn't play football. And so does he have the mental yips where he just can't play anymore? Like he was away from the game. That's a legitimate rusty conversation. So there's no reason not to expect Deshaun Watson to be a good quarterback, and Cleveland be one of those teams we're going to be competing for a wild card spot in the playoffs. I still think that Cincinnati is a favorite in that division. Baltimore is going to be a challenge, but Cleveland can be right there.
Yeah, I think that's why I keep telling you. I mean, is the team nobody's talking about that's going to make a run this year? Is it Cleveland? Is it the Browns? Their defense still should be really good. They've got one of the best running backs in the game. They got the highest paid quarterback in the game. What does that mean? Is he any good? I mean, I think he is. Last we saw him play full speed, full season, he was pretty good. Then he had the weird, disturbing, define the issue. Give me a word.
He had his off-field issues with terrible behavior.
Yeah. All right. Is the Packers GM Brian Gutekunst / Aaron Rodgers story ever going to go away? Not until we see a 30 for 30 on this?
This is definitely a lot of finger pointing.
Yeah.
Where you get the story in The Athletic discussing the communication or lack thereof communication, and Aaron Rodgers saying, "Hey, you know how to get a hold of me. If you didn't want to get a hold of me, I got you."
Who said that?
Aaron Rodgers said that.
Yeah.
And it's one where if you're the Packers, you can just be ready to move on. And it felt like they were just kind of using all this stuff as a reason to move on without just outright going, "Yeah, we're done with Aaron Rodgers." They kind of built this story of, well, there's no communication here. Oh, now he's coming out of the darkness and he's all upset because we talked about the future. You can just be done.
I think that's right. I'm going to tell you, if it's true that Rodgers' agent, David Dunn is his name, asked the Packers to fire Brian Gutekunst in 2021. That was a year after they picked Jordan Love. Then I'm not going to tell you I blame Brian Gutekunst if there was some sort of a problem getting over that. Now, you could tell me you got to be professional. You can tell me you're also a human. So if you know a dude that you got to work with every day, went to your boss or his representatives did, and said, "Hey, I want you to fire that guy," and your boss has stood behind you and didn't, and now you got to work with him, that's always going to be looming, isn't it? Just as human nature, is it not?
Yes.
All right. So was there a failure to communicate? I don't know, man. He said, she said. You get to a point where I don't give a damn. But as I decipher this and read through it and listen to both sides of it, I'm not going to lie, dude. If you go to our boss and say, hey, man, you got to fire him, and the boss backs it up and I hear about that, we're probably going to have a problem, right? It's going to be hard to sit here and work every single day. Now, we'll do it. I'll be a professional. But as a human being, I'm going to sit there and eat it. Evidently early in 2021. This is when Rodgers was kind of playing around with the retirement talk or maybe leaving or whatever. The agent called Packers president, according to The Athletic, Mark Murphy, and requested that either Green Bay fire Gutekunst or trade Rodgers. It's him or me. Packers attempted to, what the story says, protect the relationship between Rodgers and their head coach, Matt LaFleur, by telling him the 2020 decision to trade up and draft Jordan Love was Gutekunst, was the GM's. Now, I don't know whose it was. I don't know that they know. Rodgers evidently didn't buy that explanation. He won an MVP that year, and it went on. But obviously, whatever it was simmered. One day it'll come out, right? The 30 for 30 here will be pretty good.
I think we know most of it.
Yeah,
It's out there.
Maybe. All right, when we come back, 7-degree tilt on a field, and people are up in arms, are they not? Does it matter? Would you have even noticed? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
And AM 610, the sports animal.
I wonder how much people would have noticed if they weren't alerted to it. Now, some would. 7 degrees, a small tilt. That's what the soccer pitch out at the ball pitch will be from now moving forward. New Mexico United and Albuquerque Isotopes share the playing surface at Isotopes Park, the Isotopes being the main tenant. The soccer pitch beginning for Saturday's match will be shifted 7 degrees. Moved a little bit further out into the field, diagonally a little bit. And JJ, by looking at the renderings that United put out yesterday in their press release, takes the pitching mound out of play, which for Isotopes was the important piece because they were having pitchers, an injury and complaints from Major League Baseball from the Rockies, having to rebuild the pitcher's mound each time because to play the surface over that area, it was being taken out and having to be rebuilt. So they moved the pitch, and now way less temporary sod is in play on the pitch. Like, I'm looking at this and thinking, why wasn't this the original plan, the original dimension when they started playing there, right? And I know you are the same.
Yeah, it does pull the field away from that chunk of seating right behind home plate. but it also brings into play a little bit more down the right field line that could be more interesting seating for people.
Yeah, almost a whole section it brings in. There's been a lot of response and people losing their mind over this. And you just read me a comment. What was the last one you just read me? Do you still have that up?
Well, there's still this divide in the fan base.
Mhm.
Like it's united versus everyone else.
You can't be a fan
If
of
something
both.
happens, it's, they're doing this to spite us. So here we go again. United not getting their way. This is why we need a stadium. How dare Albuquerque vote that initial proposal down? Like this makes sense for all parties involved. Less moving turf that soccer players have to play on, and we see that thing get chewed up all the time.
Safer and cheaper.
The
Yes.
Rockies organization just had a pitcher get hurt on the pitching mound, which they're struggling. And it might not sound like something that matters, but taking that in and out all the time has effects on how pitching mound functions. And this is one where some people might, and United acknowledged it. They did the right thing. They're like, hey, if you come to the game and you don't like it, we'll talk about
That's right.
moving your seats.
That's right.
If that's the case.
And they
But
did
this
the right
is-
thing in letting people know. I'm not suggesting they should not have.
and but this is one where this isn't Major League Baseball. It's not the Albuquerque Isotopes out to get you. It's a shift that should be fine for everyone.
By the way, it should be better for everyone. Like as I'm looking at the dimensions, I look at the drawings. It moves it a little further away from the fans along the third base line. Okay? But not a lot. I mean, what are we talking about? 20 feet? It plays more of the match on the permanent surface as opposed to the temporary surface. The goal area, which was basically right on first base, is now out in right field on permanent turf. When I first read the tweet, so I saw the tweet and then I read the press release. The tweet doesn't lead with, hey, we're moving the field. They basically put the blame. They wanted you to know who did this to you. At the request of Major League Baseball and in partnership with the Isotopes, we're shifting the field, or we will be shifting the playing field. And then here's the press release. And Peter put out a note. Peter Trevisani, the owner and managing partner, or president. What is that? I was looking for the exact title. And certainly, and I knew that they would, and this was another plea. We need our own stadium. He said we're building momentum towards our own stadium. I think there's some people that say, "Good, go get your own damn stadium," and there's others that say, "We need our own stadium." Right? It is amazing how there's such a divide, and it feels like the divide is getting bigger between that fan base and people who are not that fan base. And you were telling me, and I didn't see it until you and I were talking a few minutes ago, the response on social media to this. Again, 7 degrees that I think probably should have been the dimensions or the configuration initially, right? Just as I look at it.
And looking at it, this is going to benefit both teams.
It looks like it's going to benefit everybody
And-
except for the guy sitting in his seat that he doesn't like that angle anymore.
And you can get that figured out. They're going to help you with that. And also, you know what? Thank goodness for the grounds crew, because they do not need to be digging up and replacing a mound the entire season. And by the way, for all the people that are upset, come at me. I know you're going to do it. You guys got a sweetheart deal in this, and you still act like everyone's against you playing that stadium.
You've got a great stadium. You got a great facility. You got a ton of parking and accessibility to pre-party. You've got I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to any of the facilities.
Like, this is one that there shouldn't be. If you should be like, oh, okay, this is better for your team and the host tenant.
That's why I wish the lead would have been to make for a better, and I'm making it up on the fly, but to make for a better playing surface for the safety of the players and for the experience for everybody involved. We are shifting the field 7 degrees, as opposed to at the request of them, which translates to they're making us do this. And that's why, to me, why the responses were, because the lead in the tweet is at the request of the Isotopes, or Major League Baseball and the Isotopes. So basically, they're telling us to do this, so we have to. Sorry that it's inconveniencing you. Where the lead could have been to make it for a better experience and make the pitch better and make it safer, whatever.
Or when you look at this, and when United, if they are, say, in the second half, defending on that first base right field line, get your goalkeeper out of that temporary side, more stable footing.
I mean, it feels, just looking at it, it sure as hell looks like that to me. But I think the way they messaged it, and everything they do is very, very coordinated, and I respect them immensely for that. I believe they elicited the response that they wanted to elicit. They got their fan base fired up, and everybody's against us. I think it's going to be better. I mean, just look at it. It looks like it's going to be better, except for that one dude sitting in his seat that doesn't like his sight line. He can change it. And they're doing the right thing there. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, DC, and you, and Adrian, well, and everybody, and all y'all on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
Upstairs goes the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, LaCueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As LaCueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman. Quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch. And she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the LaCueva Bears.
It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
You get finals tonight. It's finals plural. NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Final. Did you know that? Stanley Cup is one. They clump it all into one event. NBA's Finals starts tonight in Denver. Heat and Nuggets. Did you tell me the Nuggets are a 9-point favorite? Yeah, a lot of puntos. No? A lot of points. We're going to get there. You make your call. I just got a text from Mo who said we were just talking about the changing of the angle, 7 degrees for the pitch at the ball pitch for United moving the field. I understand inconvenience. It's weird. David Weise-Carl's comment in the paper was, that we didn't expect it. But look, this is, and Mo just sent me a text. It says better angle for fan experience. I think so too. Depending on where you're sitting, I would imagine, right? And some people are going to be upset. Look, this isn't they're out to get you. And this is what JJ, you were just saying. And I think that's kind of how United messaged it a little bit. They didn't lead their tweet with to make the fan experience better, to make the playing experience better. This was at the request of Major League Baseball and the Isotopes. This is basically, they told us to do this. And so I think they got the response on social media that you were reading me that they were hoping to get. And stir up, this is why we need our own stadium. And that's cool. And by the way, we have put in a request. We're hoping to get Devin Sandoval tomorrow. They're doing Devin Sandoval night out at the ball pitch on Saturday. I think they should get a great crowd. Devin's an Albuquerque guy.
Feels like they've been on the road forever.
And they've been away for a long time. So we do have a request in trying to get Devin on tomorrow. And I mean, he's as Borque as there is. He's a star. He's great. We love Devin Sandoval. So we're hoping to get him in. This isn't, but they elicited the response that I think that they were looking for in the way they put out that release, right? How many people would have noticed? Something's different. Something's weird. But I don't think people would have been pissed. Do you?
No, but it's something you have to address.
I'm not telling you they shouldn't have addressed it. Absolutely, they should have said, beware this is. But there's a lot of ways to mess.
Yeah, but it's one. And if you're United, you want that. You want your fans fired up. You want them talking about the stadium and just continuing that push.
Is the you're closer to this than I. Somos Unidos means we're all united. But do you feel that's kind of, as they've grown, they're in their 5th year now, right? Is that kind of what they want to be? It's us versus them. Like you're either with us or you're against us.
I think that was just highlighted because of what happened last year.
What do you mean?
And
what happened last year?
With the stadium issue being on the ballot.
Yeah.
And it was a yes or a no. And if you voted no, then you were against them. even if you're a sports or soccer fan. But if you somehow, some way, were like, you know what, I don't like this plan. It doesn't make sense, especially this style. Pre-game tailgating, marching. You can't do that downtown.
So
the way we live in Albuquerque is we're not a public transit city. That's not going to change overnight.
Well, there were a lot of
the
reasons.
plan wasn't great.
It wasn't great. It just wasn't. And I've talked to people who might not tell you this in public, who are very, very closely associated with that club, who agree with that.
But it was there, and it was the opportunity to get that money.
So you're saying from from United and United fan perspective, that's how it was. If you're not with us,
I think
you're against it.
I wouldn't say that United is putting that message.
Don't you think they feed it a little bit? With the way, just the way that was worded, the lead is at the request of not to lead with a positive spin that this will enhance the playing experience or the field or whatever, but it's at the request of them. Basically, they told us to do this. I mean, to me, that elicited the responses that you're getting. Now, you might have got them either way.
You were going to get them either way.
You're right. I mean, again, I'm looking at it and I'll watch. I'm out of town, but I'll watch this in
especially with El Paso in town Saturday night.
You know what it might do too? I'm just thinking what else this might be better for. So the angle, this is going to be a little technical. They shoot for their broadcasts. They shoot from east to west. So the camera is into the setting sun, and there's a portion of that game where it's really hard, the glare on the camera, right? If you notice, almost every football stadium, soccer stadium, baseball's all set up in the same configuration, but stadiums run north to south, okay? And cameras are almost always set up on the west side to avoid that. Sun, I don't care where you are, no matter where the mountains are. Denver, here, it doesn't matter, the sun sets to the west. Okay? No matter where you are on this planet, that's one thing that's the same as the sun sets to the west. This may take a little out of that because, JJ, I think as I look at it, where the camera was, especially as it goes camera right, there may eliminate some of that glare on the broadcast because you're going to get the higher grandstands earlier in the broadcast and eliminate some of that glare directly into the sun, into the camera. So this may be a benefit if you're watching on the broadcast. Just as I'm looking at it, because the sun kind of sets out over that left field
It's all
stands.
about angles, man.
And 100%. So this may make that actually a little bit better. It's a better view for the press box. I get it's inconvenient. I have no doubt it is, right? And that's a bummer. But for safety, and I just look at the configuration, and I'm looking at, well, this could be better. But I don't know. Sometimes I try to find the good in things instead of why it's a bummer. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We welcome you in today. We were talking about Deshaun Watson and maybe DeAndre Hopkins being reunited. Text line says the Cleveland Browns are going to be the Cleveland Browns. Just like they are every year, no matter how much money they pay their quarterback. They're going to be a mostly irrelevant dumpster fire that only the news only follows because it's a dumpster fire, just like every other year. I don't know, man. Like, there's part of me that wants to say that because they're the Browns. It's kind of like I tell you about the Chargers. But
got a feeling.
Don't you?
Been hanging out with TJ Trout too much.
I mean, you know, the Browns. Hold on. All right, this is on a soccer. One solution would be to have an actual soccer stadium, but we just can't have that, right? No, we can if it's right, and I think we will. We're going to have a soccer stadium. I think everybody's going to win here, right? They're going to get their facility. Yes, that would be a solution. It's not the solution now, unless you get the magic beanstalk beans to build a soccer stadium. Yeah, that will be the eventual solution. To say we can't have that, I don't think that's right. I think we're going to have that. Do you have any doubt they're going to build a stadium?
No.
I don't either. They're going to get a stadium.
Just not going to get, what, $64 million from the city or whatever it was.
Or maybe they'll get more.
Or maybe they'll get more, and then here we go.
Maybe they'll get more. This one says, well, Rockies and Isotopes, both in last place in the standings. Really, who cares? Evidently you do, because you sent me the text. Should we not talk about any of it? Don't talk about last place teams, even if they're yours. Okay. Funniest take of the week so far, Dwight Howard saying he's better than the Joker. Dwight needs to stop watching Disney movies. There's not a planet in the multiverse where Dwight is better. 100% right. Did Dwight Howard say he's better than Nikola Jokic? Did that happen?
They're even now because they both have an NBA Finals appearance.
Wait. Help me with the I absolutely flat out missed this. So what was the context that Dwight Howard was even heard? No, honestly. In what is Dwight Howard doing now?
Playing basketball in Taiwan.
Okay. So what was the context in which Dwight Howard was heard? Dwight Howard, the former Magic, Laker, everybody else player who's playing in Taiwan now.
He is doing what other players are doing. He does a lot of shows, appearances.
All right. Okay, I just didn't know. What is he's better than
Mm-hmm. He said he'd take, quote, prime Dwight Howard all day, every day.
He also said no matter what anybody says, he's still a champion, even though he's never won a championship at any level. Right? That's the same dude?
That's how his mindset. Wake up every morning.
I'm a champion.
Be a champion.
I don't care what anybody tells me. Even though I've never won a championship, I'm a champion. I'm better than Nikola Jokic. Really? He said, take prime me, and I'm better than that dude who just won 2 MVPs and is playing for a championship.
Oh, he did. He was on.
He did win a championship. He was on the Laker bubble team, right? Yeah, he did.
He's a champion. Dang it.
He is a champion. He was
He's
on the,
right.
Yeah,
he spoke it into existence.
He did. He was on the Laker bubble team. That's right. I forgot he was on that team. Big part of that team. He's the reason they won.
You know what he was, Jeff?
What, a role player?
Good role player.
It's so disrespectful, for crying out loud. How do you look yourself in the mirror? Well, I'll tell you what. If you have the body like he does, I'll give him that. He does have an all-world body, doesn't he? Like, he has one of the best Adonis-like chiseled bodies in the history of that game. Does he not?
Dwight Howard, if you don't listen to Dwight Howard, because then it makes you like not want to listen to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is properly rated for the career he had, which was a very solid NBA career.
That's fine. And he got it right.
But when things like this happen, that's when people were like, hold up, bro. What are you doing?
It's like Scottie Pippen telling me that Michael Jordan wasn't very good. Like, okay, come on. We all have eyes, man. Like, we all have an eye and maybe 2. We all have a brain, maybe 2. Like, don't we all watch this stuff? Tell me in what world Dwight Howard... No, if you're going to tell me he was more athletic, you might even have that conversation. By the way, can I give you another one of the worst takes, period? Nikola Jokic isn't athletic. He looks different. He does it differently than... Maybe he might not be the most graceful. Is that fair? But okay, so he doesn't jump the highest. You're going to tell me that dude's a 2-time MVP and doing but he's not athletic? Well, he's a big, slow Caucasian. Okay. Which makes what he's doing athletically even more impressive by dominating the way he does. Do you buy into he's not athletic?
No.
Okay.
I don't. Because you don't accomplish what he does without a particular set of skills that he has refined.
Athletically. When we come back, what Joker has to say on the matchup. You got to stick around just to hear Joker talk, right? I mean, it's just worth listening.
It might be the first time you will hear the voice of the 2-time NBA MVP.
Nikola Jokic. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Telling you.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
I are the women. We've been talking a lot about the men's rivalry level Aggie basketball, or Aggie level basketball if you prefer. Why are the women only playing once this year? And I've been told it was a coach's decision based on scheduling, date openings, and what they had. But I'm told it's not a permanent decision, maybe just for the next year or two for now. So it could go back to twice a year, but And it sounds like Lobos are going to have 3 Power 5 opponents and 2 at home, non-conference. Is that what you're hearing?
So they did last year.
Oh, that was last year. Okay, that was last year. All right, so you asked me that, and I tried to get you an answer on that. That's where we are. All right, let's go tonight. Who do you got in Game 1, by the way? The Heat, have they won, is the number 6 in a row? How many straight Game 1s have they won? Something bonkers, right? The rested team, the home team, is a 9-point favorite. Everybody's on Denver tonight, right? You, Chauncey Billups?
That 9. Don't like it.
Well, you don't have to bet it. But winner?
You really gonna do this? Yeah, put me on the spot like that.
Well, I mean, what about Chauncey Billups over here?
I have a very difficult time going against the Heat right now.
Really? It's hard too. I'm with you. Because what they've done, this is almost one of those destiny runs, right? I just think Denver's better. I just do. I'll take Denver tonight. I'm not scared. You guys don't have to.
Scared
with the 9?
No. All right. Nikola Jokic is the center of this whole thing. Nikola Jokic is the odds-on favorite to win MVP. Nikola Jokic is a 2-time league MVP. He's going up against a good defender in Bam Adebayo. Earlier, we played you some sound, Bam talking about going up against Joker. This is Nikola Jokic on his matchup against Bam Adebayo.
I think it's not Bam against me or whatever, against whoever. I think it's a Denver against Miami, and just because I think we kind of have a similar play style. We are getting everybody involved. We like to play with team basketball, so it's not going to be me against him or anybody against anybody. So it's going to be a Miami against Denver.
So he told you nothing. No, I mean, but what about your matchup? Yeah, we understand. It's. I was a little disappointed in that.
Why are you disappointed? That's who he is, dude.
I know that's who he is. I know that's who he is. But
you ask him who the best player on the team is, and he'll tell you it's Jamal Murray.
That's fine. But what about the guy that you do have a matchup? That's all right. I mean, he didn't owe me anything. I was just hoping for a little more beef in there. That's all. All right. So how about Jimmy Butler talking about playing against Joker? Maybe you'll get something here.
Guarding him as a team with all 5 guys. He does everything so well. And we're going to have to be in the gaps. We're going to have to gain rebound. We can't have defensive lapses. And we're just going to have to get after it. I think at the end of the day, he's a major key, as DJ Khaled would say. And we're going to have to lock in.
All right. I don't know, whatever that means. So whatever you got from that, you got from it, right?
Well, that's the dude you love, Jimmy Butler.
I do like that. At least you give me a little more.
And and I'm about that. Like, let's just see these two teams battle it out on the floor, and that's who they are. They haven't changed their stripes. They're not being different just because it's the NBA Finals. Like, let's go see ballers ball out.
Yep. We haven't talked about? We haven't talked about any of the other matchups. Who are you putting, or is it a zone? Who are you putting on Jamal Murray? Who's defending him? Jamal Murray is as streaky a shooter as there is, certainly left. But when he's rolling, he's just the side of Steph Curry, right? I mean, he's kind of there with Dame Lillard when he's that hot. I mean, he's that kind of a guy, right? He carried them in a couple of games against the Lakers. You running Caleb Martin at him? You run in
Martin makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, because he's longer, right? Vincent?
Oh yeah, you'll see Vincent on him.
Yeah.
Strus at times. They're gonna switch it up. So that's what the Heat do. It's a mixed bag, and they dump it out there on the court.
So this is why I like Denver a little bit in this. And I think Strus and Vincent and Martin have been terrific. I expect Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. to be really good. I just do. KCP. How about KCP? Was that like the most under the radar, really good move in the offseason?
Absolutely.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope came over from the Lakers. Signed with Denver. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Traded from Washington.
Is that where it was?
Yeah, so KCP was in Washington, and
See, that's how quiet it was. I didn't even know where there was a stop in between. I had no idea.
It's Caldwell Pope was in Washington, and so coming out of last year, and I was reading this story yesterday. Calvin Booth, Nuggets GM, was praising Monte Morris for stepping up when Jamal Murray got hurt, and saying, Monte, you're going to be a part of this process. We trust you. We understand Jamal's coming back, but you're going to be one of our guys.
Okay.
And then they had approached KCP at the trade deadline the previous year
when he was still with the Lakers.
He was on Washington.
He's already with Washington. Okay.
Yeah. And they couldn't get a deal done.
Okay.
But the deal came back up in the offseason, and one of the pieces that Washington brought up was Monte Morris. So then Calvin Booth had to go to Monte Morris and be like,
remember what I told you?
Sorry, man. We're going to make this move, and we're going to have to go back on what I told you. And they brought in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from Washington.
It's a tough conversation.
Yeah.
What did he say about that in the story you read?
He said that it was like just that. Like it was really hard, but he knew that a better piece to this puzzle would be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with Jamal Murray coming back than Monte Morris.
That's a great. I did not know that story. And he could have easily said, you know what, I'm going to kill the deal because I gave this man my word. And I don't even know what the right thing to do is in that situation. Like, would you have blamed him if he said, I can't do that deal as much as I want to? I gave this man my word. And I guess his job is to make them better. So no matter what your word is, you got to go do what's right. And obviously that was the right move. That was the best move for that club. I can't sit here and tell you definitively what I would have done in that situation. If I gave a man my word, you're a big part of this, and then have to come back to him a week, a month, 2 months, a year, whatever it was later.
The Denver Nuggets, what they've done the last 2 years, because the trade that brought them Aaron Gordon, the player that was at the focal point of that was Gary Harris. And Gary Harris, to everyone else, is like, well, who's that? Well, he was a dude that was in Denver since 2014. And he was a veteran guard that was a part of this process, the team getting better, loved in the locker room. And they had to trade him. And it crushed the locker room, but it brought them in Aaron Gordon. And these are like the decisions that you have to make. You like guys in your roster. There's good locker room guys. But to get better, you got to be willing to make the hard decisions. And it's paid off for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, because they're in the finals. What would you have done if you were in that situation, right? You gave Monte Morris your word. You're my guy. I've been on the other side of this. I've been on the Monte Morris side of that, by the way. I've been told you're our guy, and then there's the door. How would you handle it?
And it's one, too, where when the Nuggets made that move, they didn't have a backup point guard. But KCP was a better fit because he's going to be in your starting lineup as opposed to backing up Jamal Murray. He's a better defender on the perimeter. He's a good three-point shooter. Perfect fit for that offense. And then following that is when they went out there and they signed Bruce Brown, who was a free agent, who had spent the past season in Brooklyn. And one of the things they liked about Bruce Brown was his ability to adapt. He played a bunch, in that dysfunctional Brooklyn team, but alongside stars. So he's like, all right, I know what to do. And they're like, well, this dude's going to know how to function when the Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are running the show. And all of a sudden, he morphed into the team's backup point guard.
Wow. I didn't know any of that. That's great stuff. That's the construction of the Western Conference Championship roster right there. And here they are. And it's pieces, man. Yeah, you need stars. I look back at the championship Warriors. You know who was the MVP of their first final victory? In the NBA Finals. Do you know who the championship of the Warriors? The Warriors won their first one.
Was it Iguodala?
It was Andre Iguodala. I look back and the role that Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston and Andrew Bogut played in those championships, right? Go back to some of those games. Am I forgetting somebody in there?
No.
I probably am. But those three guys, right? I'll use that term that I hate so much. Those role players. There was somebody else.
Who sprained Kawhi's ankle? In the one of those series, it was a center.
Oh, stepping in?
Was it Zaza?
It might have been. Zaza Pachulia?
He in there?
Might have
There's another one of those players
was.
that made like a huge impact because he stepped under.
Well, I'll take you back to the Jordan Pippen team. How big was Steve Kerr, or John Paxson, or Horace Grant, or Luke Longley, right? The construction of rosters, to your point, and that's why when we had the conversation about Bob Myers, the Warriors general manager, stepping down yesterday, and what he did and why the guys who know, right? The love that you saw from Draymond Green and Steph Curry, because those guys know that the success that they've had is so in great part attributed to what Bob Myers did assembling that roster and keeping not only that core together, but finding those other pieces. That's why I like Denver so much. Although that's why I love the construction of the Heat. Look, man, what Pat Riley, I mean, 4 undrafted dudes, Vincent and Butler. I mean, like what Hero has become. I know he wasn't undrafted, but I look around. Who's Max Strus, right? It's the dude from, what is it? What Jesuit? What is it? Wesley? What's the town of West Virginia? Wheeling Jesuit, right? Hightower.
Yep.
And that's a big deal, man. The construction of that whole thing. When we come back, there's a lot of NBA greats talking about this. Who do they got? What do they think? A lot of respected voices who are talking about this series that gets started tonight on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Channel.
Jim Rome.
Aaron Rodgers.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out. What is it? It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early. I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine. Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes. Wait, what?
Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and
All right, everybody's talking and talking and talking. That's good. I mean, the more people you got involved with the final, the more it matters. George Karl, the longtime coach, talking about Bam Adebayo, right? Said he could have a good finals on the offensive side, but defensively, he says I think he's going to have a very hard time, and he could get absolutely roasted by the Joker.
Roasted.
That's a guy who knows, right? Look, I know George Karl has said some things in the past, but one thing I do know, I know he knows hoops.
Yes.
I know he knows X's and O's. I knew George way back in the day when he was in Seattle. I like George. George's one of my favorites. But do you think Bam gets roasted by Joker?
I think Bam puts up a better effort, but Jokic is roasting everyone, man. He's at that level. Like, you best believe it.
I was told Anthony Davis was going to shut him down, right? Anthony Davis was supposed to be the best defensive big guy in the game. They tried a lot of different things. I thought Darvin Ham, the coach of the Lakers, got
They
creative.
didn't even have Anthony Davis defend Joker.
Yeah.
They're like, look, we found something. We got Hachimura.
Yeah, because that kind of worked for a quarter and a half. Yeah. Remember coming out of game one? Oh, we figured it out, even though we lost. I remember sitting here after game one of that series, and the Nuggets won, and all the talk was, well, the Nuggets are in trouble. And game two is a must-win for the Nuggets. And the Lakers figured it out because they put Rui Hachimura on Jokic, and it worked in the fourth quarter, and they figured it out. And what did I tell you? Michael Malone's going to come back with something, and Jokic is too freaking good, and I can't sit here and think the team that lost game one has the advantage. I just couldn't. Paul George, Clippers, says that Jokic counters every defense that's thrown at him because the Clippers have tried.
I love that.
Because they never figured out how to guard. They've thrown everything out. All kinds of junk, all kinds of garbage defenses. They never figured it out. Eric Spoelstra's good, man. Eric Spoelstra's good. Damian Lillard, who you want on this team, who everybody wants on their team. What did Damian Lillard have to say?
Watching him play and playing against him is like blood don't ever miss. Smart as hell. He can shoot, pass. He play team ball. He care about winning. He humble. He stay true. You know what I mean? I like how Joker do his thing.
It's like the Joker love fest, isn't it? Here's why this is important, and I'll tell you why this is happening, right? If the Lakers were in this series right now, I don't know that we'd be hearing everybody loving on Anthony Davis or even LeBron James this much.
LeBron James.
This is, you know what this is? This is dudes in the league who know, that have known for a while, trying to make sure that all of those people.
Everyone else knows.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
All the people who are sitting here telling me that this is a boring matchup, that it's a trash matchup, that I don't care because I don't know, because I never have seen the Denver Nuggets play, because I live on the East Coast and nothing west of Pennsylvania matters. That's why I firmly believe that's why the love fest is going on for Jokic. I mean, what'd you tell me? 29 almost. So, can we round 29.9 to 30? Is that 30 points?
Yes, aren't you supposed to round up?
All right. 30 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 10.3 assists.
So 30, 13, 10.
In the playoffs. Playoffs? Not preseason, not November, not Tuesday night in Milwaukee. In the freaking playoffs against Anthony Davis, against DeAndre Ayton, against Karl Anthony Towns. Right? Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis are considered two of the best big men in the game, are they not?
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton is good, and if he's got a strength, it's defense, right?
Well,
supposedly. Jokic and Murray have led the Nuggets offense to almost 120 points per 100 possessions in the playoffs. So what does that mean, context? So it's better than the Sacramento Kings. You're going to say, Jeff, who cares about the Kings? Listen to me. The Sacramento Kings have the all-time best regular season mark this season in that stat. Shut up, Jeff. The Sacramento Kings this year had the all-time best points per 100 possession. And what this Nuggets team is better than that. The Heat play zone. They play man. They jump lanes. They force turnovers. They take you out of your comfort zone. This is a real test for Denver. But I'm just telling you, the reason everybody and the other part is you've seen less of them. There's just been more games to watch of Miami because they're going deep in these series, right? So you know more about them. But all this talk to me is like this Denver education for the country, to kind of like okay. Here's what you're going to see. All right, boys and girls. Be prepared. Here's what you're going to watch. So the big guy in the middle is Nikola Jokic, and the guy who shoots a lot, his name is Jamal Murray. He's as good as the guy you know about in Dame Lillard, and been doing it for a while. Came back from an injury. Okay, and Aaron Gordon isn't just Drew's brother. Oh, that's right, Louisville fans. But he's really good and athletic and plays a lot of defense and can hit a three. And I mean, doesn't it feel like that to you? Oh, and Michael, not Mike, but Michael Malone is their coach. And Denver's in the Mountain Time Zone, so it's kind of between Chicago and L.A. Ain't nothing live out there but rocks. That's what I was told. Ain't nothing live out there but rocks.
This is great, man. I love the players. I love the way these teams play. There's no question about effort. There's no question about coaching. This is what people harp on. This is what people scream about when they look at professional athletes. And it's just everyone wanting to be the star. And these are two teams that are just like, give us that championship trophy, man. That's all we're here for.
Yeah, we're going to get to see it, and it starts tonight. When we return, I'll get you any correspondence I've not gotten to you that you've gotten to me that I need to get to you. You know what I mean? And everything you need to know as you go through your day today on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit International Protective Service.
NBA Finals tonight. I love it, man. This is, and regardless, if you take myself out of, yes, I'm a Denver Nuggets fan. I grew up in Denver as a kid, but just basketball-wise, I love this series because we're not questioning anyone's effort. We're not questioning the coaching. Like, these are legitimately the two best teams in the postseason. One was a number one seed that people still didn't expect to be in the NBA Finals, and there's something different. There's a level that Jimmy Butler has played at in the postseason that it's hard to quantify because he's not that dude the entire season. But when the stakes are at the highest, he goes to another level. Like, all these like cliches and things we talk about in sport, like, oh, that person, that's a big time player, that person has it. That's Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, it's so hard to go against him. I just think if Denver State, now look, if Denver stays healthy, this is where
that's why I'm not on like the sweep.
Yeah, because of that guy. That guy's not getting swept. Yeah, I don't think that guy's getting swept. You know, I go back and forth on this because there's a part of me like you, DC, that I don't know why I got onto this, DC, but now it's like rolling off my tongue like that. You okay with that? All right. You're hesitant because it's hard to pick against the Heat, right? I mean, that's kind of what you're saying. You've been watching what I've been watching, what we've all been watching. It's hard, right?
These are great teams. No one's getting swept.
The argument is, well, they went through the other one seed. They went through Milwaukee. Yeah, but they went through Milwaukee without Giannis Antetokounmpo for 3 games, right? If Nikola Jokic goes down, we can have a whole nother conversation, right? If let's say Nikola Jokic gets hurt, who you picking?
Heat in 5, maybe.
Right?
Yeah, it changes it.
Right, and to me, that's what happened with Milwaukee. Now, to me, it doesn't diminish anything. You know, I've heard, well, the Warriors went through this. So they were hurt, and they were hurt. Well, so did LeBron. So did, like, everybody gets hurt, dude. But you know who else is hurt? Like, their best shooter. Miami's best shooter has been hurt. Do you know that? Tyler Hero's their best shooter. They've been going through this without their best three-point threat. But injuries are part of it. So there's a big chunk of me that says, God, it is so hard to pick against the Heat because I firmly believe they have that that grit, that filth, that grime. What have I said? You know, there's a nastiness to them in the postseason. They are built not just roster-wise, but they are built like just the dogs they have on that team. The organization from Pat Riley through Spoelstra, all the way filters through the roster, through Haslam, who sits there with a hood on that doesn't even get in a 40-point blowout. They're never putting him on the floor, but he's still part of that team. Like Grandpa's sitting there. And they all talk about the emotional leader that he is. Like, they're built for this. So I get you. It's really hard to say at some point they're not it. And then I look at the other side, and it just – this feels like culmination of what Denver's been building for, I don't know, 6 years, 7. How long? Michael Malone's been there 8, right? How long's Jokic and Murray been there? It's been a minute now, right?
Yeah.
This is, to me, the illustration of what they tried to do in Philly, just not as verbosely. This has been the absolute trust the process. JJ, you alluded to winning 17 games here. Now, it wasn't with this group, but this franchise has been there. But this is, we're not going to blow it up because we lost the finals. And then last year you played all without Jamal Murray, right? And so they stayed the course. They felt they had a core. The trade to get Aaron Murray, I thought at the time, was Aaron Gordon was a big deal, right? And I still think it was. You just described the whole Contavious Caldwell-Pope acquisition, the moves around it. And so there's a long, verbose way of talking about, how I'm thinking this through. But that's why I'm on the Nuggets, because I just think top to bottom they're better. I think the best player on the floor is the difference in this series. Where the best player on the floor in the last series, if you want to tell me, was Jason Tatum, I'm going to argue with you, because I'm going to tell you I think Jimmy Butler was better when it mattered. I'm not sure I think that Jimmy Butler is going to be the best player. I'm not telling you he's going to be bad. I think he's going to be really freaking good.
Taking Jokic over
Yes,
Butler.
That's all.
You are. And also, we haven't even gotten to Michael Porter Jr., who's always the ultimate X factor for the Nuggets, just based on what effort you're getting defensively. If he's rebounding, that is a huge plus. And then his three-point shooting.
Yep. All right, emails that I haven't got to. This is from Gene. Gene says, Coach talk a lot. Is he the mouthpiece for United? Jeff, yesterday's statement reminded me of, quote, we don't have our own locker rooms. Wah, end quote. Okay. Was it a good thing ultimately for Louisville baseball to move out of that stadium and kind of go back into their own field?
Yes.
It probably was, wasn't it? Look, you're always going to make Gene, I know that always bothered you, but that was the situation they have. I think you're always going to make the best of the situation, or at least you should, the situation you're in. And when Louisville baseball moved into Isotopes Park years ago, instead of playing down and the negatives, and I know a lot of people said, well, they talked about playing in a minor league stadium and how great it would be, and then they didn't have their own locker rooms. They couldn't take batting practice there. They couldn't take infield. So I don't know. Fact is, they didn't win, and so that's what it is. Was it Monte Ellis? What was Monte Ellis? You were talking about Monte Ellis.
No, there was a play in one of those series.
In the
well, Monte Ellis had ankle injuries, but where Kawhi Leonard landed on someone and sprained his ankle, and it was a backup forward, I believe. Because we all remember that exact play, and everyone should know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it for you. I'm gonna find it for you. Yeah, I remember the play too. No, that's not it. All right, this text says UNM women's basketball beat New Mexico State 9 of the last 10. No surprise, it needed to be scaled back. That injury is going, or that series is once this year. I've been told that it's not a permanent decision. That it is for the next couple of years because of scheduling and dates, but it's not permanent. So, okay. How come they won't tell me in any of these stories whose ankle or whose foot he stepped on?
Zaza.
It was.
I knew it.
Julia. Yeah.
Question my random NBA playoff knowledge.
No, I absolutely. You're the only one who questioned it. I bought it once you told me. You're the only one who questioned your knowledge.
Huge play. Back in 2017.
You're the only one. All right, so you guys want to make a call on that? Who you like to win, or are you afraid to? You don't have to.
I'll take the Heat in the 9.
Okay, that's fine. I think we'll all take the Heat in the 9.
That just seems crazy big.
How will you watch? Is this a family night for you guys? I mean, you got your Chauncey Billups baby blue jersey on. I think that's one of my favorite Nuggets jerseys, the one that he's wearing, by the way.
Baby blue ones.
Yeah, I like that one. So it's a big family night?
Oh, yeah. I'll have the hoop in the living room.
Attaboy.
The little one be balling and stuff. And have the game on.
You, DC?
Absolutely. We'll have the whole crew over, fire up the 85-inch, have the little kids run around.
85? I'll look at 80. Damn, I got TV envy now.
Hey, they're still selling them.
Yes, they are. They're getting bigger and bigger. All right. This is big tonight. This is fun. Anything else I got to watch for tonight? Does baseball matter tonight? Can I watch the first round of the golf
Baseball
tournament?
does not matter.
Baseball doesn't matter tonight?
It does not exist.
All right. Tomorrow, our buddy Nick Nee is going to be with us. Looking forward to getting my game better after the performance yesterday. The Memorial Tournament, this is Jack's tournament in Muirfield Village. It's a big one this week. Great field. All the big dogs are out this week. They just got underway. Matt Wallace is your leader. But a bunch of, I'm looking through, dude. Pick a name. Adam Scott, Cameron Young. They're all in this one. John Rahm. You like John Rahm?
Always like John Rahm.
Who's better golfer right now, John Rahm or Scotty Scheffler? Two best players in the world, right? I guess you got to throw Brooksy in there.
Well, it depends on what tournament we're playing.
Right, and if we're playing in Muirfield or
we're
playing
this
US,
weekend, it's not
right.
Brooks Koepka.
U.S. Opens in 2 weeks. It's Father's Day weekend, right? John Rahm, Brooks Koepka, Scotty Scheffler.
Going.
You throwing anybody else even in that category
Going.
right now?
Koepka, Scheffler, Rahm.
I'm going Rahm, Scheffler, Koepka because I haven't gotten me to the point where I think Brooksy's going to win back-to-back majors. And it feels like Rahm's the next. Although Rahm won the Masters, didn't he? So Scheffler's due. Scheffler won 2 last year. Let me go Scheffler, Rahm, Brooksy. That's where I am today. Where are you on that? Like, it's insane.
Ask again next Wednesday.
The top 3 guys in the world, and I guess you got to throw Brooksy in there because they're just so
major golf
good right now. And Victor Hovland's going to win at some point. He's going to break through. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. Isotopes Baseball in Salt Lake after that. Then we return at 7 a.m. tomorrow with award-winning radio. Adrian, show looks great as always. Thank you. DC, have fun tonight. First time in your life your NBA team is in the finals. Enjoy that. I know it's a big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Good luck to you. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.